Well, hi there. September 25th. Yeah, we've had a bit of wind and rain, like some storms on Vancouver Island. Calmed down a bit now. So winter season starting. Trust everybody is fine. And bit late today. I have a computer thing going on. All my files have gone all over the damn place. I'm not sure what happened. So we're trying to do a BIOS reset and everything, and it's taking its time. So I thought I'd do this. So I'm not sure we won't be getting it up right away, but we'll get it done. I'm finding it intriguing that in several countries we have large manhunts on the way looking for people without masks. It's hard to believe, but that's happening. You know, in Britain, a 72-year-old guy was arrested by 2 or 3 cops for not wearing a mask. And they wouldn't ask them where they were when the riots were going on, why they didn't arrest anyone there. They still haven't. But of course, they didn't admit that they were too damn busy running away. But they have a lot of resources to go after people without masks. In Britain, there's squads of people wandering the streets, looking in bar windows and that to make sure there's nobody in there, to make sure they aren't breaking any regulations. It's interesting. You go down into the States. You probably have all seen the video that lady at a football game, watching her young son play football in a stadium that was just really well spaced, weren't a lot of people there. She was arrested for not wearing a mask. She was actually tasered. And here's the interesting thing about this. In all these cases, there's no riots in the street, no buildings burning, no police being attacked. There's no pandemonium because of this. Because it's an interesting phenomenon. If it was reversed, if you take that lady in, I think it was Logan, Ohio, the guy arresting her was looked like he was between 200 and 300 pounds. Now, I'm not sure if he was a rent-a-cop or a police officer, or it could have been a police officer moonlighting, because they do that down there, or whatever. But he was a big bugger, great big guy. And I'm thinking that would have been reversed. If that would have been, those two roles would have been worse. The woman was white, the big guy was black. If that was reversed, and a big white cop between 200 and 300 pounds, whether he was a police officer or a rent-a-cop, would have tasered and handcuffed and dragged a black woman away for not wearing a mask, how many riots would we be having? And I say that just because that's the reality of all this. It's sort of nuts. And you roll down to Australia, well, you all know about the pregnant woman who got arrested in her pajamas in her own home because she posted something online. The pregnant woman in a park resting on a bench got arrested for sitting on that bench because she's not supposed to be sitting on a bench. And 2 old ladies were harassed as well. One was ticketed or arrested for sitting on a bench. The other one, they snatched her cell phone away from her. It's incredible. And the Looney Tune governor, or whatever the hell you call him in Victoria, is sort of, I was reading an article where he was lobbying to pass a law so citizens could arrest one another for violating mask rules or whatever. You come up into Canada and it's not much better. I don't think people have been tasered and dragged off in handcuffs for not wearing a mask, but they've been fined pretty sums. For sitting on a bench or for skateboarding or for shooting hoops by themselves, or not sitting in a white circle in a park in Toronto. that same park that is now overrun with homeless people, and it's a real shit show. I don't see anybody being arrested or ticketed there. Of course, they got no money, so what the hell? I guess don't waste your time. But the thing is, this is now sort of, you can go sort of around the Western world. In France, it just, someone was saying you get jail time for not having a mask. As my computer is down and I'm sort of rebooting, I'm talking to support. The guy is in India, the fellow I was chatting to. The computer is American computer, Dell, but they sort of, I guess, farm everything off to tech support all over the damn place. Now, I asked him how the mask situation is there. He said, well, if you're outside and you don't wear a mask, you get a heavy fine. You got to wear a mask, sort of thing. Got to ask yourself, what do you think about that? How stupid is it? Unless they're releasing another magic potion that's going to be more deadly than this one, that is designed not to go through these phony masks. Or is this just trying to control people? You know, we seem to be, in some countries, in some cities, in some states, they're spending more time tracking down people without masks than they are tracking down criminals. Hell, in the states are letting people out of jail in Washington, in certain states. New York, Washington, Oregon. Because they don't want these poor guys to catch the virus, so let them out. They go doing all their crazy stuff. It's intriguing. I think we've all lost our collective minds. Well, not all of us, but I think a lot of people have lost their minds. You couldn't write this. You couldn't write this kind of bullshit. You just really couldn't. It's. I'm wondering if years from now we'll look back, and everybody will sort of blush a bit when they see how damn stupid they all were. Or is this by design? I sort of think it's by design. Not sure what your thoughts are, but I think this is by design. This is by design. Control people. Get people to sort of squeal and spy on one another. Get people all used to standing 6-7 feet apart. Get people all used to covering up their faces with masks. And get people to do all this stupid stuff. That's how you control people. Brainwash the children and control the adults. That's how you roll this thing. But anyway, it's not looking sweet, and it's not looking pretty damn ugly, but that's where we are. Well, trust you have a good weekend. Make sure you have your mask. You don't want to get tasered, handcuffed, and dragged down the street. Who would have thought that in the Western world you'd be saying that? You know, we watched in horror in January, February as they're dragging people off the street in Wuhan, throwing them into bins on the back of a truck and turning disinfectant gas on or whatever the hell they were doing. You could hear the woman screaming in the damn place. And we thought, how crazy are these people? Well, folks, just look down at Logan, Iowa, or Ohio, I should say. Just look at Australia. Just look at England. Just look at Canada. We have our shit shows going on too. Take care. Bye for now.